Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Zedekiah Narvasa, and I shall be the presider for today's meeting. Um, before we start, I shall like to introduce the members of my team, the Block Blasters. From the Committee on Finance, we have Aishiel Morano. Can you please wave your hand? Okay. Committee on Decorations, Miss Castañeda, Mr. Duwal. Okay. Then Committee on Networks and Linkages, Miss Kwong and Mr. Dapat. And lastly, our secretary and assistant secretary, respectively, Mr. Montecalvo and Ms. Cabellon. And with this, we officially start the meeting at exactly 9:29 p.m. So, good evening, everyone. Today we'll be discussing about the further objectives for our benefit concert for the Christmas party. So, may I please call upon Mr. Montecalvo to discuss the details we talked about during the last face-to-face meeting.
Thank you, Zedekiah Narvasa. As previously stated in our last meeting, we discussed the event to be done for the Christmas party, which is the benefit concert to be held on December 21, 2024 on CITU Gymnasium. Our objectives are raising funds for a cause which is aligned for the SDG 1, no poverty. Next is spreading holiday cheer and community spirit, which is aligned with SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. Lastly, promoting awareness of the cause, which is aligned with SDG 17, partnerships for the goals. That's all for my part. I I pass the mic back to you, Z.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Montecalvo. Ms. Cabellon, could you please preside over the attendance for this meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chair. And as I take the attendance, please say present if your name is called. Mr. Dapat Van Kendrick,
Present.
Mr. Dapat is present. Mr. Duwal Nico Ian,
Present.
Mr. Duwal is present. Miss Castañeda Princess,
Present.
Miss Castañeda is present. Miss Kwong Chelcy Kate,
Present.
Miss Kwong is present. Mr. Montecalvo Ethan Stage,
Present.
Mr. Montecalvo is present. And Miss Morano, Aishiel Marie.
Present.
Miss Morano is present. Mr. Narvasa Zedekiah
Present.
and Mr. Narvasa is present. Mr. Chair, overall, we are perfect in attendance and no one is late. And I yield the floor back to you. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cabellon. So with that, we shall go on to the first topic of our agenda, which will be the discussion on okay, the venue admission and sponsorship, which will be presided over by the Committee on Networks and Linkages. So I yield the floor to you.
Okay. For a while, let me settle. Okay, thank you so much for that, Mr. Chair. So, hello everyone. Once again, I am Chelsea, and I am one of the members of the Committee on Networks and Linkages. So, in line with this benefit concert, Van and I have decided to hold the benefit concert again here at CATU Gymnasium as what was previously discussed by Mr. Montecalvo, so that it is accessible to all technologians. All blockbuster technologians who have been part of our organization will have a fee of 150 pesos, and for non-members of this organization will be 200 pesos. I have also discussed this as well with Miss Morano about the details about this event, and she agreed to it. And she will also give updates regarding to the progress of how many registrants have been registered to this event. Furthermore, the event will start from 5:30 p.m. as the registration and 9 o'clock p.m. as the end of the program. We also have contacted the people who will arrange for the lights and sound, including the TV as well, to be placed in the gymnasium. And furthermore, we are still collecting more performers so that more students will come. And that will be all in my end. And I yield the floor back to you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I believe your mic is off.
Oh, my bad. Thank you very much. Is there anything else from the Committee on Networks and Linkages? Or is that all?
I pass the mic also to Van. Dapat for further details. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Kwong. As she, we have also been reaching out to local businesses and organizations to see if they would be interested in sponsoring the event. We have also been promoting it on social media and have partnered with a few campus clubs to help spread the word, hoping that these efforts will help us draw in a larger crowd. As for the performers, we have finalized a lineup of talented individuals who have generously agreed to perform. We have a mix of singers, dancers, and musicians who will surely entertain the audience. And we've also coordinated with the technical team to ensure a smooth performance, including sound checks and stage setup. That is it for my end. I yield the floor back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dapat. Is Are there any additional concerns or questions regarding the topics raised by the Committee on the Networks and Linkages? If there is none, let us move on to the next topic of our agenda, which would be the discussion on the allocated budget for the event. So may I call upon the Committee on Finance to please discuss this topic?
So, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Chair. So, I'm going to discuss the updates for the Committee on Finance. So far, our ticket sales are progressing well, and we're optimistic about reaching our fundraising target. Regarding our budget, we have allocated funds to cover essential needs like sound system, lighting, and stage setups to ensure the concert success. We have already set aside funds for the decoration committee, and I'm also working closely with their head, Miss Princess. We aim to be transparent with all the income and expenses, and I'll provide a full report after the event. So if you have any questions, suggestions, feel free to reach out to our committee. So yeah, I believe that would be all, Mr. Chair. I give the floor back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Morano. Are there any concerns or questions regarding the topics brought about by the Committee on Finance? Okay. If there is none, let us move on to the final topic of this meeting, which would be the discussion on venue decorations. So please call upon the Committee on Decorations to discuss this topic. To give up, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And now we are very excited to present to you our plans to make the venue festive and engaging for the event. The goal of this benefit concert is to create a warm, Christmas themed atmosphere while keeping things functional and cost effective. Here's a breakdown of what we have planned so far. First is the stage design. The stage will have a grand Christmas backdrop featuring a combination of red, green, and gold accents. We'll also have we'll also use fairy lights and hanging snowflakes to add depth and sparkle. And second is the entrance decorations. At the entrance, we'll place an archway made of Christmas garlands, lights, and ornaments. We'll also have two Christmas trees flanking the entrance for photo opportunities. And third is the audience area. Tables will be decorated with simple centerpieces, candles in glass jars surrounded by pine cones and baubles. Chairs will have ribbons or Christmas themed covers to tie in with a festive theme. And now, the remaining details regarding the decorations will be discussed by Mr. Dual.
Good evening, everyone. For the fourth Sing, we have photo booths. There will be a dedicated photo booth area with a backdrop that says Merry Christmas. And props such as Santa hats, reindeer antlers, and festive signs will be available. We have the lighting. We will use warm string lights around the venue to create a cozy and magical ambience. We then have the charity booth. Well, since this is a beneficial concert, we'll decorate a special area for the charity partner to display their work and connect with attendees. And that's all for the decorations. We'll also need extra volunteers to help set up on the day of the event, as well as some additional fairy lights and Christmas trees. And I'll coordinate with the finance committee to finalize our decoration budget and confirm which materials we can purchase or borrow. That's all for now. I'll provide an update next week as we finalize the designs and gather materials.
Thank you very much, Miss Castañeda and Mr. Duwal. Are there any more concerns or questions regarding the topics brought about by them? If there are none, can I ask Miss Cabellon to give a short recap on the topics we have discussed so far, so that after which we can end the meeting?
Good evening, Mr. Chair. On my behalf, it would be Mr. Sage who will do the recap.
Thank you, Ms. Cabellon. As for the recap, we have the Committee on Networks and Linkages for the discussion of the venue admission and sponsorship. And for the Committee of Finance, they discussed the discussion of allocated budget for the event. And lastly, for the Committee on Decorations, they discussed the venue, decorations, and other miscellaneous things, fees, or expenses that may come over. Thank you, and I'll pass the floor back to our host or chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Montecalvo. If there are no more concerns or questions about any of the topics regarding this meeting or any of the topics we have discussed so far, I've officially closed this meeting at 9:42 p.m. You may all enjoy your evening and have a good day.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Mrs. Everyone. Goodbye.